Hi, I'm Lauren Bryant, twin mum, event host, and award-winning small business specialist with a background in automotive and finance. I'm coming up to 10 years of Empower House, where I've helped hundreds of women streamline and scale their business. The greatest thing I've built, though, is an incredible community through my events, the Brunch Club. In over 70 live events, I've created thousands of connections and raised tens of thousands of dollars for charity. Most of all, I created a no-pressure networking space for women to feel seen, heard, and supported. This podcast is an extension of that, where I can share what I've learned, bring amazing speakers to share their story, and keep living the Empower House values: community, empowerment, and education. If you are an ambitious woman in business, welcome. This is for you. Hi, darling. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the podcast. You may or may not know that I have been hosting networking events for years on the Gold Coast. We are at about 7.5 years now. And in that time, I've done over 70 events. I am always looking for speakers, and I get asked a lot about how I choose my speakers. So I thought that we would have a little chat about that today, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to be speaking. You want to do podcast interviews, you want to be speaking at live events, online events, whatever that looks like for you. So here are the things that I'm looking for, and maybe that will help you in your speaking journey or becoming more visible as an expert in your field, right? So the first thing that I'm looking for in a speaker is that they've gone to the effort to apply. I have an application process. It starts with a link. You fill out your details, you give me images, all of that sort of stuff. I use that information to promote the event. So when you're looking at an application form, for example, on mine, I'm asking you, who are you? Tell me your bio. Tell me what your presentation is about, what the key takeaways are going to be for my community. Like, why should I choose you? Tell me about any achievements that you have, whether you've won awards or you work with these particular people, or, whatever that looks like. Give me your social media links, your website links. Give me some photos that I can use, having a look at what I'm asking for as well. So when you are looking at speaking for someone and they give you an application form or tell you what the application process is, follow the steps. It is really simple to do. I get a lot of inquiries, and my application form does filter out some of the people that I don't want to work with because they don't put the effort in. When I'm asking for detail, they're not giving it to me. They're giving a sentence or two. And that tells me that you're not really invested in this opportunity. You just want me to give you a platform. You just want me to do all of the work for you. But as a speaker, you need to put the work in order to have the audience there to see you. Okay. In order for people to say, that was a great experience, and give you a review or a testimonial so that other people want to work with you as well. And I have written that many testimonials for speakers, whether they asked for it or not in some cases, because they were that good. This was a person who was really a professional. They showed up the way that I expected them to show up. They followed my application process. I also have an expectations email that goes through to my speakers about sharing the event, when to turn up, all of that sort of stuff. So really get involved in get really clear on what is being asked of you and answer that specifically, okay? There is no point in turning up half-assed, right? You want to turn up and show that you are the expert and the professional, and every single step of this is going to add or subtract from that for you, okay? We're also talking about having a one-page. So if you don't know, a one-page is a one-page document where you have your bio, you have your keynote, you've got the key takeaways, you should have your contact details, maybe some content examples. You might have a YouTube channel or some specific reels or something like that that you can direct people to have a look at the way that you speak and what you speak about and that kind of stuff, to give people a really good feel of who you are. If you are a brand new speaker, this is for you. Film yourself and the things that you want to talk about and put that all over your social media. Put it on your website, upload it to YouTube. All of these places are free real estate for you to use. So even if you haven't had a single speaking gig yet, film yourself speaking about your topic. You can do your whole keynote and upload it to YouTube so that you can embed it on your website and in emails and link it on this one page so that people can see what you deliver. You don't have to have a huge roll of all of these. These are all of the events that I've spoken at and I've been paid this and that. You don't need that. You just have to have the content there for people to see that you are a real live person who genuinely can do this thing that you are saying you want to do. All right. Your content is really important for that. You can have great little snippets. It's amazing for your audience, but it shows me as an event organizer that you are in fact a speaker and you are in fact going to turn up and speak well, right? Because I've spent a lot of time making my community what it is. I spend a lot of time and energy in building and nurturing these relationships. And it is my reputation that I'm putting on the line when I hire you as a speaker. So I want to see that, yes, in fact, you do this thing and you are aligned with my community, that you're going to be an asset, that the two of us are going to be able to collaborate for this event and it's going to be successful in the ways that matter. And that for me is my attendees are going to enjoy it. They're going to get something out of it. The thing that you say you are going to give them is going to be delivered. And also that this has been a pleasant exchange of time and energy. All right. So it's really important that you have content up there that says, I am a speaker and I speak about this thing. Or, you know, you can have several keynotes, but start with one. That is your focus. That is what you're going to be known for the next 12 months. Get really good at that thing. Okay. The next thing that you are going to do is contribute to the community. And I have said this so many times when people ask me about how I choose speakers. I usually choose somebody who has been to one of my events before. And I do that on purpose because I do things differently and I have a certain standard that I like my events to sit at. So when somebody has already come to my event, they have invested in the community, they've shown up, they've spoken to other people in the room, and then they've approached me about becoming a speaker for one of my events themselves, I will prioritize that person over somebody who just lands on the application form on my website or sends me a DM and just asks for the opportunity. I will always prioritize somebody who has contributed to my community first, because community is my highest value and I want to make sure that we're aligned. All right. I want you to then show up as the person that you say you are. I want you to show that you are aligned. When you become a speaker, promote the event. Put it out there to your network. You want to make this as successful as possible because it reflects back on you as a speaker. Okay. For some events, fine, you're getting paid to be part of something that's big. You maybe don't have to promote it so much, but what you're talking about when we're talking about promoting an event, what we're really talking about is building relationships outside of this one particular date. There are so many opportunities that come from being in a particular room, but being in the room on the day is only one part of that. There is the lead up to the event, and there is what you do after the event as well. Okay, so keep the entire picture in mind when you are talking about being a speaker or thinking about becoming a speaker. There is a whole process, and you've got to show up as the person that you want to be known as for the entire process. If you fall down on any of it, it will give you, the person organizing, a different perspective of you. Okay. And look, we're human, we make mistakes. But what I'm saying is, if you can put your best foot forward at every step of the way, you are going to be so much easier to work with, and people are going to recommend you, which makes it easier for you to get other speaking gigs as well. And I am always asked about which speakers I have that were great. Okay, so 2 people come to me. One is the person looking to speak. The other is the person looking to hold an event, looking for speakers. All right. So make sure that you are referable. And that comes from showing up as a professional. You don't have to have all of the experience. You just have to have the work ethic. That is all that's required of you. So get really clear on your keynote, on who you are and what you want to be known for, the communities that are going to serve you, because you're going to do this as a strategy, not just on every stage, because you don't want to be in every stage, in every room, because a lot of these people aren't going to align with you. Okay. So get really strategic and say yes to all of the smaller rooms and what looks like smaller opportunities. Those are amazing. Their intimate events are so good for brand building. You can create so many more connections in a small room with a smaller community than you can on a big stage with hundreds or thousands of people. More people are going to resonate with you in the small room. They're going to feel your energy. They're going to want to get to know you better in that smaller room. So prioritize those. You don't have to get paid for everything you do. You just have to be able to get in front and get something out of it. There needs to be a return on investment of your time. And that might look like giving people a workbook, getting them to opt into your lead magnet and bringing them into your community. You could run a competition and get them to post you on their social media and tag you and give them something for free. Maybe it's a half an hour one-on-one session. I don't know, whatever that looks like for you, but use that time strategically so that it's actually fueling your business. It's actually giving you something in return for your expertise and your time. All right. And always show up as the professional that you are. You are going to follow the application process. You're going to show up in the community. You're going to contribute. And that is going to get you more speaking gigs. I would love to hear from you if you are looking to become a speaker. Come and slide into my DMs. Send me on Instagram. I am at empower.house. I would love to hear from you. And also let me know what it is that you're doing. Maybe you're hosting some events. I would love to see them. I would love to hear about them. Come and find me on Instagram and tell me what you thought about this episode. I will see you next time, darling. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. I hope you loved this episode. If you did, please remember to share it with somebody else who you think will enjoy it too. I would love it if you leave a review, which helps me reach more people just like you. And don't forget to come and join me on Instagram at empower.house. Thank you, darling.